Well, the show is back to the Epstein files, guys. As soon as the government reopened, House Democrats, with support from 4 Republicans, which are strong Trump allies, who secured the 218th signature on a discharge petition for House Resolution 4405. While being called a bipartisan bill, this video will tell you why this is a Democratic diversion. And my question is not where are the documents, but why are Tom Massie, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace supporting it? There will be several shorts covering this topic and a long video, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. The bill would force the Department of Justice to release all remaining Epstein files within 30 days. The narrative is that House Speaker Mike Johnson has been stalling on this resolution, which may or may not be the case, but the vote is expected early next week after the swearing-in of new Democratic Representative Adelita Grijalva, who just won a special election in Arizona. Democrats are alleging that new emails mention Trump multiple times, including one where Epstein allegedly wrote to Ghislaine Maxwell that Trump was the dog that hasn't barked and had spent hours with victim Virginia Giuffre at Epstein's home. Yet, Giuffre testified in a deposition that Trump flirted with her, but that he didn't partake in any sex with the girls. Another email from Epstein said that Trump knew about the girls and asked Maxwell to stop. Additionally, there were more emails indicating discussions with journalist Michael Wolff, implying that they were trying to set up or blackmail Trump. Of course, the left is all over this, trying to spin the fact that Trump socialized with Epstein before he was arrested. They socialized in the 1990s and 2000s, before Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago around 2007, after a dispute over Trump employees being solicited by Ghislaine Maxwell for the Epstein enterprise. Trump has consistently painted the Democratic probe as a hoax and a distraction, and knowing how these people work, I'm honestly apt to believe it. He did this on November 14th, when POTUS posted on Truth Social, directing Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice and FBI to investigate Epstein's ties to various Democrats and institutions. So it looks like the Epstein case is about to hit the fan. Democrats are going to get what they want because President Trump is publicly urging the Department of Justice to investigate, but you can bet that there are already many investigations already open. Remember, Epstein is allegedly dead, so he is not a target. Every single person that ever supported his enterprise is a target. The Democrats should be careful what they ask for, because I suspect that many of them are under investigation. POTUS specifically named Bill Clinton, alleging that he spent large portions of his life with Epstein, including island visits. Flight logs confirm 26 trips by Clinton on Epstein's plane after his presidency. Larry Summers, former Treasury Secretary under Clinton, was advised by Epstein. Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn co-founder and Democratic megadonor, also appeared to be controlled by Epstein in these emails. J.P. Morgan Chase allegedly aided Epstein's money laundering despite warnings. Trump called it another Russia scam orchestrated by Democrats to deflect from their shutdown embarrassment. But I think it's all part of an orchestrated disclosure rollout that was planned a very long time ago. Trump added that Epstein was a Democrat, and he is the Democrats' problem, not the Republicans' problem. They all know about him. Bondi responded by assigning U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton of the Southern District of New York to lead the investigation, promising urgency and integrity. White House officials say that the emails prove literally nothing. This could be because previous assertions were that under Jim Comey the FBI manufactured evidence. This I believe. Disruptors like Democrat Dan Goldman are calling for the DOJ to be pressured also. They argue full release benefits victims and transparency, regardless of party. But the fact is that full transparency while a case is under investigation makes it impossible to put together a prosecution, and they know it. Senator John Kennedy warned the controversy is not going away without full accounting, and I totally agree, but that will play out in a court of law, not the media. Democrats accuse Trump of deflection and a cover-up to seal files during an investigation. But anyone in law enforcement knows that this is standard procedure. Can you imagine? How would you ever catch the bad guys if you had to disclose everything you had on them before your case was even put together or sent to the prosecutor? Do you want thousands of perverts making evasive moves to avoid or taint prosecutions because evidence against them was just disclosed in the newspapers? It's ludicrous, and people are falling for it. It would be literally impossible to prosecute anybody if all the evidence against them was released during the investigative phase. If someone is indicted, their attorneys receive access to all of the evidence against them, not the media. There's very important reasons why this has been the mainstream of legal prosecutions for many decades, and the left narrative is now trying to villainize established practices to protect the integrity of a prosecution. Every lawmaker knows this, and they are banking on the fact that you don't, to make you think that the Trump administration is trying to hide something. I'm not saying that they aren't hiding something, because deception is a pillar of the art of war, and make no mistake, we are at war. Alleged victims' advocates are pushing for unsealing everything, but to me it's cruel to rile up these victims trying to taint this investigation so that it can never be prosecuted. We should be prosecuting these perverts, not using the victims as a political tool, and if people would just give this DOJ some time, they are going to see hundreds of thousands of perverts being punished. But such a massive initiative doesn't happen overnight. It took me 10 years to put away one target, and he was paying for his own legal maneuverings to stop us. Imagine when you have the money of George Soros defending you. These tactics could delay or complicate the House vote, because active investigations prohibit releasing evidence per numerous laws and policies, most notably Rule 6, which means that if the DOJ opens or has an open investigation using Epstein evidence, any potential grand jury activity triggers automatic secrecy punishable by contempt. So if pursued, release of all records risks politicizing justice. And since most of these politicians have a law degree, they know this and are screwing with you. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell and check out my store, where I'm adding new items and have some really unusual Christmas stuff. In closing, when you are on social media sites and clueless people are shouting to release the files, you should either share this video or educate them on how the legal system works, and that it would jeopardize prosecutions to release the Epstein evidence since it's clearly part of an open investigation now.